Oh, no, didn't happen. So, what's up? Hi, Holly. I'm all, I've been busy today and yeah, a little out of sorts, but that's all right. I was gonna just puff a little bit on the countdown, but I didn't give myself a countdown. So, hi, Anna. How are you, love? So, yeah, I just responded to a TikTok message. I was encouraging and telling that I support on these people's video that were in Denver yesterday protesting, and some little blonde white lady was like, "Really? I'm so grateful for our police and our military. These protests are scary." And I was like, "Oh, honey, your privilege is showing." And I don't explain myself or basic human decency to fascist twats. So, bye. So yeah, I had a sacred rage moment. Hi, Catherine. Um, but yeah, I'm not establishing any kind of energetic ties with you, but I will show you how stupid you're being and dismiss you like a fucking queen. Hi, Shauna. So yeah, people, man, it's insane. But the spread is looking good. So I'm excited for it to see what comes out, see what the message has to say. So yeah, just a day in the life of an authoritarian government and its psychotic followers. Hello, Sue. Hello, hello. Oh my Lanta. It never fails, you guys. It's Duncan. I'm coming, Mr. Bossy. Here I come. Come on. Thank you. You're welcome. All right. So we'll get into the reading, right, Shauna? We'll get into the reading and then we will talk about sacred rage and how to use it properly because there are so many people experiencing right now, this sacred rage, but they're also applying it in ways that aren't necessarily aligned with the highest possible outcome. So, we're going to talk about that. And I didn't do an outline because I've been too busy. So, we're just going to wing it today. Hi, Susan. How are you, love? All right. So, this lack of growth, Seven of Pentacles, bottom of the deck, right away, um, is causing people, us, you, whoever, to go within, right? So, this could be a lack of things moving forward in your life, something being put on hold, or um, issues arising that you have to get kind of creative to bring solutions to. That's what this is about. It's getting back in touch with your truth, okay? And sometimes it does take falling on your face in order to find your true self again. So, Judgment card, calling you forth from the dead, done, and over with, that old vessel, that worn out vessel that you no longer need, but also aligning with your highest self. And then Six of Wands, victory, success, fulfillment, you achieving the goal, manifesting the things. We have home on the bottom of the deck here with changes, moving, and approval. And right behind that, we have awakening with awareness of new gifts and knowledge. So many of us are undergoing changes with regard to home or security foundations at the, you know, individual level as well as the collective one. Um, there's there are changes afoot. And these experiences are teaching us, spiritual teacher card. We're recalling this esoteric wisdom. Okay, we're connecting with that mystic within. Um, this is a status upgrade. Okay, this is ascension because it's literally right next to it. Status upgrade, ascension, Ace of Cups right down here with the King of Pentacles. This is being solid, secure, that divine masculine. Everything is in place. He doesn't act on anything unless it's worth his time. Because look at him. He's sitting on his ass. He's like, it better be something that I'm interested in or else I'm not even going to waste my time. Because look at this giant pentacle here. I don't need anything. I'm set. I'm good. So I only act on things that align with and make sense to me. Hi, Lori. How are you, love? Nice to see you. It's been a while. Good to see you. We saw Lynn in here yesterday. Lynn, if you're in here or if you're listening to Lori's phone or whatever, then hello. But we are experiencing changes, ascension. Okay, upgrades are coming, but first we have to make room for the new. So it's time to stop sitting on your laurels again. Okay, you've already gained that enlightenment, the wisdom. It's time to get up. It's time to take action. New day. Okay, and this came out with home again from a different deck. So this new experience, this new phase. Hello, Amelia. How are you? And hello, Miss Linda. Lots of changes happening with regard to our safety, security, sense of home, sense of belonging. I heard DNA activations, upgrades on the crystalline body. Y'all, we have been going through it. Okay, the Schumann resonance has been. I've been watching it. I get banners on my screen every time it has an increase, and it's like every 5 minutes it's increased or it's changed in some way. Solar flares, the geomagnetic storms, all of this is activating these codes within our DNA. We are and have been for a while now being upgraded to the 12-strand DNA. You guys have probably heard about this. I believe we've talked about it before, probably several times actually. But these are the things that are taking place. So obviously our environment, the circumstances around us are also going to shift and change. First, the ugliness surfaces. All of that lower frequency shit is triggered to come to the surface so that we can sweep it out, be done and over with, so that we can move forward, so that we can ascend to that next phase, that diamond in the rough, okay? That status upgrade. We're being put under intense heat and pressure right now, individually as well as collectively. But this is what we came to do. Like, we may be surface level really pissed off and really freaking out or like unsure of what's going to happen, but the truth of who we are, our higher selves, we all know the outcome because we've mastered all of these energies in other lifetimes before. Yeah, we come through the veil of forgetfulness, so that makes it extra level difficulty, but we knew we were capable. So that's why we're here. And we all have different jobs. We all have different functions. So some of us are going to be more hands-on, and some of us are going to be working in the spiritual realms, and some of us are going to be, supporting and helping out wherever we can. It takes all kinds, okay? It's going to take the whole village for this one. And I mean, as a human collective, okay? Because there's so much being uprooted right now. Hi, Suzanne. I love you. So it's on divine timing, okay? And now is the appointed time. Now is the appointed hour. Divine timing is at play. Voyage with rite of passage to self-discovery and mastery, and warrior standing in the truth. So, I mean, this is happening all around you. You are on a voyage in your own experience, and you are the warrior in your own experience. You've encountered so much you know, heaviness, trauma, difficulty, whatever it is for you, because it's different for everyone's journey. Not everyone has a super traumatic journey. But we have the journey that we need to acquire the memories and the tools that we needed to this for this point. Okay, so yes, it's still stormy seas. Like, that's our ship in the ocean, y'all. This is the humanity ship. And there's motherfuckers trying to sink this bitch, but we're not gonna let them, because we are the warriors. And it's a psychological warfare. It's a spiritual warfare game. So of course, Source is going to send the highest ranking officers of the military with the proper experience just for this place to be here. We are feet, you know, boots on the ground. Lynn is at the veterinary emergency. Aw. Aw, sending so much love. It's awful to lose a little fur baby. Aw. Let's all send Lynn's dog some healing, and Lynn and her dog comfort and love, because that's a difficult situation. Sorry to hear that, Lori. Okay, so triggers, traumas, emotions surfacing to be purged. You can and you will overcome, because you are that warrior. Duncan, are you serious right now, bro? I let this cat out, you guys, because he's the boss. What you got, dude? Watch. In a few more minutes, he's going to come back crying to come in because it's now past his time that he can be out. His curfew is now, so he can't go outside again. He's going to be upset. So divine timing is at play. All right. We have bottom of the deck teaching. Right behind that, we have struggle. We often learn the most concrete lessons, you know, that really stick when there's some struggle applied to it, you know, and we're moving from that reality into the new earth where struggle isn't really a thing. Okay. There are some things that you may struggle with, but we're shifting into a collective beneficial society instead of individual, just a few individuals who are benefiting from the rest of us. So it's time to get creative. Okay, it's time to fulfill your role in whatever way that calls to you right now. If that's just holding space and anchoring, then you know that's your job. So don't feel bad or guilted or shamed for, you know, not really being able to do anything but hold space for the transformation. If you feel called to do something else, speak up, advocate, you know, help out in your local communities, whatever you can do, then absolutely do that. But not everyone is built for that kind of thing. And I don't want anyone to feel guilty for that here, okay? Inspiration is on the bottom of the deck right after that creativity with the shamanic healing oracle. So tap into your sunshine, tap into joy every single possible moment that you can, because right now is difficult for everyone, individually and collectively. It's like we've got all 10 wands on our shoulders and we've been trucking it through the desert for miles and miles, and we're finally getting close, but it's so heavy. Okay, we're so weak from carrying this heavy load so long. So experiencing joy or inspiration in every single moment that you possibly can is going to be important to help maintain your own balance, because we are anchors. We're anchoring these higher frequencies for the collective. And even those, you know, who I personally would judge as idiots, even them, okay, having empathy and sympathy for them, because they've been stuck in the program for a long time. It's difficult, but you know, we got to do it, because otherwise we're just carrying around that weight, that heaviness. And expressing your sacred rage is important to releasing that energy. And we'll talk about that in a minute. Healing. We're currently healing individually and collectively, okay? Especially when it comes to home, our foundations, whatever that means for you. Could be jobs, could be your little home, relationships that are, have to do with your foundation. So your closest relationships, all of those things. There's a reorganizing happening right now, a restructuring, and the ugliness is going to show. We've been saying for years now that the mental imbalances are going to come to the surface. They're going to come to the forefront. They're going to be expressed. So a lot of that is what you're seeing, and you can't ever fault someone for being mentally ill, right? No. So just like you can't fault someone for being an addict, okay, it's a dis-ease. And that's what we've come here to help heal, to help shift. So having compassion, even for these people that I would personally deem as idiots, okay, that's my own personal perspective and opinion, my human one, and I'm allowed to have it. But you can think of it however you want. But it's time to have compassion and understanding for that, understanding that they've been programmed for lifetimes now, stuck on the wheel of karma, and they're buried so deep that they can't even see. They're buried so deep in this. I mean, this place is like a mental hospital. Really, anyone who's not, who incarnates here is not really technically from here. Star seeds, what I'm talking about. It looks like mental illness. It's like, how could people not see this perspective? Like, this is so, it's basic human decency, but there are people that literally do not like, you know and hi, Angela. It's been programmed for lifetime after lifetime after lifetime, so we can't really fault them for this. It's a natural mental imbalance with them, but think of it like a spiritual one that's carried over lifetimes because of the cycle of incarnation, reincarnation on this planet. So this channel is talking to me directly too, because I'm having a hard time. I'm really having a hard time. Like, I can keep my shit together and I can be eloquent in my response and be not be petty and not be totally attacking, but I did say I don't engage with twats, but I didn't call her one directly. Okay. So express it in the healthiest ways possible. Okay. Get it out. Reach out for support for those who are loving and supportive, who are here also to create the new earth, who are not here to poke and prod and try to trigger you into negativity, whether that's a conscious awareness of them or not. Okay. Not everyone is consciously aware. They're sick. Okay, they're mentally ill, and it's because they've been stuck for lifetimes and lifetimes, and programmed and programmed and programmed every single time, deeper and deeper and deeper into it. So having your moment. Hi, Ariana, I love you. Thank you. Have your moment and express it however you need to in as healthy a way as possible. Okay, and then keep on shining your fucking light. I was in the like, I had to go to the grocery store before the podcast, and it had to be like right before the podcast because that's the only time I had. But I needed milk, so I had to go to the grocery store. Everyone's getting off work right now. My nephew's husband is in there. He works in there. He's shifted back and forth from the bank to there a couple of times, but he likes the people at the grocery store, so he works there. But I was like, "Do you know that guy?" Because he knows everyone in town. He's like a great nephew, great nephew, or something like that, of Nathan Meeker, who is the one of the warlords that conquered the tribe in this area to steal this land to create this town that I live in. So he's related to him, so he knows everybody around here and who all of the family is and the whole story on backstories on all of them. Okay, and I'm like, who's that guy? And he's like, I don't know. And I'm like, have you been seeing very many people that aren't like familiar around here lately? And he's like, yeah. And I was like, thanks for the heads up. Like, we need to start alerting each other. We need to set up a community like alert system. Like, woo woo, there's people in town that don't belong here. Stay safe, people. So yeah, reaching out for support in your local communities, in your friendship, family circles, whatever. Support in our soul soup over here. Everyone is so loving and supportive over here. So definitely get all the support you can right now. Reach out and just people that you can talk to and say, hey, how's it going? For me, it's a little difficult here. So, I mean, I have all of you. Every day you've been hearing me like, it's been hard. So, the support, the community, the oneness is so needed right now. Strength, power, and endurance. So, we have the strength to endure. No, we shouldn't, okay? But that's the case for now. That's what we signed on to do. So, we're going to tap into our beautiful strength and continue to hold the frequency, continue to ground the new earth into being, continue to speak and advocate and bring people's attention and awareness to, hey, you might not be thinking in the healthiest way. Like, what if that was your child being ripped out of your arms and you were taken off to a death camp just because your skin color? Or like this morning in LA, the car of two parents and their 1 and 2-year-old babies getting pepper spray shot into their vehicle, and the parents ripped out of the vehicle and they left the babies there. Okay, they left the babies there in California, in the heat, in the summertime. Pepper sprayed babies with their parents in their vehicle and left the babies in the hot car. Tell me how that's protecting anyone from anything. Okay, so speak up, advocate, support, reach out for support, express your emotions right now, okay, in the healthiest way possible. It does not mean engage with lower frequency behavior because, like I said, hello, Wendy. Like I said about the lady on TikTok that just had to be like,
oh, really? I support our military and our police. These protesters are scary.
I'm not going to engage with you, but I will tell you that I don't engage with fascist twats and have the day you deserve. You know? So, right? But pro-life. Yeah. Pro-lifers doing that to babies, children. It's unconscionable. There are so many words and there are not enough words for it. So, anyway, that's the abrupt ending of the reading. And I know it was a little short. I realize that now, but it is what it is. Whatever you're experiencing right now, reach out for support in whatever way that you can. Support groups, you and your friends, you and family members, you and trusted people, doesn't matter. Checking in with each other and helping each other through, or helping each other to see higher perspectives even, or just to listen, just to hold space for you to express your emotions because they're flying around like crazy right now. You're welcome, Shauna. And it's collectively, and not everyone is collectively impacted, on a conscious level, because there's many people that aren't fully aware of what's going on, and it's a choice. But and I'm usually the one not even paying attention to the politics because I know it's a fucking circus over there. But yeah, no, not whenever we start yanking rights left and right. So, and harming children. Don't mess with the kids, man. Don't mess with the kids. That is what will get me, the hardest. So it's incredibly sad. And these are regular people, families. They're not the thugs and the gangsters and the bad people. that they said they were going to be going after. But, even if it was them, they still deserve basic human rights and due process. And if someone's rights are being encroached upon, you can guarantee that everyone else is going to be next. So that is why we're speaking up. But it's human fucking decency. You cannot be illegal on stolen land. White people weren't here for thousands of years. Natives were. And I'm going to tell you something else. The whitewashed history doesn't tell you that it wasn't just African people brought over here to serve as slaves. There are, black-skinned indigenous tribes to America. Christopher Columbus wrote about them. But they don't teach us that in American schools, do they? And they wiped out so many of them and then brainwashed and programmed everyone to think, oh, I came from Africa. But no, not that many even came over from there. They were indigenous to this land, and there are other indigenous tribes that are still around that will confirm. So yeah, it's just like we've talked about the inverted matrix, the upside down shit. It's all twisted and bleached out, and we have to really get to the truth. And it's taking everyone, everyone serves a role, everyone has a purpose. So there are those that are bringing true histories back to light, those who are advocating, those who are helping, those who are, holding the space for everything to take place, who are sending protection, love, understanding, sympathy, empathy, all of these things. So it doesn't matter what you feel called to do, just do it. So yeah, and it starts with you in your individual experience. And just like I told you guys already, with y'all knowing what happened between my neighbor and myself about my cat and me not liking him after that, I went next door and I talked to them and we bridged that gap again. Like, I'm not okay with you doing that kind of thing, but I'm also not okay with your rights getting trampled on, and I, for one, won't stand for it. Let's form a community. Let's start, getting our community together so that we can protect one another. And that took a lot for me, You guys know my feelings about that particular neighbor, but there's nothing that they could have done that would make me think that they don't deserve basic human rights. The only barrier is our readiness. That is so true, Carl. Thank you for saying that. So yeah, we're even if you're not involved in, and invested in what's going on with other people that are outside of your personal experience, everyone's being triggered right now. Anger, frustration, rage, sadness, all of these things are very prevalent right now within people. Memories surfacing that are causing people to, do an emotional spiral. There are situations manifesting that are triggering people to start spiraling, and the general consensus is basically anger and frustration, rage. All of these things are the most prevalent, what I'm seeing, within my own experience within the collective, but also the people that I know that I'm close to, I'm seeing are being triggered also. And it's all for a reason. It's all divine timing. It's all divinely aligned and guided, because anger, rage, these emotions are powerful. Anything along those lines. I'm not going to keep listing them. So they're very powerful, very potent emotions. And emotions aren't good or bad. There are higher frequency ones and lower frequency ones, but there are low frequency expressions of the higher emotions, just as there's high frequency expressions of the higher ones. That everything, it's never anything just solid one way, one perspective or anything like that. We have different, I don't want to say levels because it's all kind of like blurred together. It's like from the super dark all the way up the gray scale, all the way up the color scale, all the way up to white, um, just talking about the color palettes, not skin colors anyway. um, so in just the same way, we're going to have different frequency variations of each individual frequency, subject, topic, emotion, whatever. um, so harnessing what upsets you, using that anger, we'll just label it anger. Okay, that covers the broad spectrum of any kind of emotion similar. So when we harness that anger and we focus it on a positive trajectory, we use its momentum, we use its power, instead of judging it and trying to suppress it and scoot it out of the way, it's going to keep coming back bigger and badder than it was before. So using that power, because that's what it is, it's energy, emotion, energy and motion. We're harnessing that and we're using it for good. Okay. Biggest example right now, people protesting, not just US protesters. There's people all over this plane that are protesting, Palestine, the Congo, Venezuela, all these different places. So they're using that rage or that sadness, because some people are so sad that it pisses them off that they have to do something about it. But that's the motivating factor. Okay, so allow the anger that you're feeling or the sadness that you're feeling, allow that powerful emotion to go in the direction of the life you want, of the situation or the outcome that you want, whatever you want to manifest. Focus it there. As long as it's aligned with your highest timeline, your highest good, and the highest good of others, then that's what's going to happen. But we have to learn how to transform that. So if you're really upset about anything that's going on right now, protest in some way, speak up, advocate in some way, create things, or use that to go help people in any way that you can. Channel it in that way. If you're pissed off about your girlfriend or your boyfriend or your husband or your wife or whatever, then use that to find a solution that is for the highest good of all involved. If you're getting really frustrated with a job, use that and either harness that into the direction of getting that raise that you deserve or getting that promotion that you deserve, or harness it into looking for something better, a better position, or creating your own business even better. Then you're not working for anyone but yourself. And I know that's really hard to say right now because the economy is kind of iffy, and also the future economy is a little iffy, but that shouldn't stop you, because if you're divinely protected and if you are aligned with your highest frequency, your highest outcome, then you will have no problem. I mean, you might have some hiccups and some, hurdles and stuff as things tend to go, but your mission is divinely protected. You just have to choose what you want and then direct this energy in that direction. Is neutrality the best route to take in all of this? The Kabbalah is always trying to create fear, so we just shouldn't feed into it. So not feeding into fear per se, but remaining neutral is kind of deciding, or letting others decide for you. Neutrality, whenever, it's not on that collective scale. Like if it's not your situation to get into and you see something going on, like say your friends are fighting, their husband and wife, and they're fighting, and it's not necessarily your business, So in that way, like, yeah, stay neutral, but, you see the husband beating on the wife, then, intervene, that kind of thing. The highest good for yourself and all involved. So, um, like if it's on the collective scale, then absolutely do not play into the fear or anything like that, but use it to create a better world, for yourself and others. And that doesn't have to be like advocating or protesting or demonstrating in any way unless you feel called to something like that. You can still hold space for the collective. You can still send protection and love, conscious awareness of, the lies that the cabal has fed to everyone. But yeah, neutrality isn't an option, because this is the what they call the splitting of the old earth and the new earth. Okay, it's not going to be an actual physical split, but you're seeing a lot more division right now, and this is the way that it's supposed to go for now. So there will be ultimately the outcome that's chosen, but the chosen outcome is already created, and that's the new earth. It's already here, it's already done. um, but we are the anchors, so it can go as fast or slow as we want it to. So I hope that answers your question, love. Here for this conversation, I've seen some in the spiral community. I mean perspectives in the spiritual community, telling others how to fear, not to buy into anger, etc. Emotions are energy in motion. Let it move. Feel the feels. Tap into the. Yeah. So that's spiritually bypassing, because don't feel the anger that you're legitimately feeling in your body. Don't feel that because you're not supposed to buy into it. No, you use that because it's there, it's present, it is a tool, and you focus it towards the solution. Can I help you?
Are you ever going to eat that sandwich in the...
You can have it.
Okay, thanks.
You're welcome. So there is, there are people who are given certain information, okay, that aren't highly tuned into their own higher self and all of that. They just kind of hear from other people, or they form an opinion that is very much conscious based, with unconscious shadowing at play. So that energy is distorting their perception. And every single emotion is sacred. Every single emotion is valid. We know not to invalidate our emotions when we're doing shadow work individually, because that's not the way that, you heal. By suppressing it or ignoring it or just not investing in that emotion doesn't help you to heal. You have to express that emotion. You have to feel it, express it in a healthy way. And then, once you've integrated, then you can move forward, with that integrated. But we're never going to integrate this. We're never going to heal it until we feel it. And it's going to have to get a little worse, before a lot of other people are feeling that. But it doesn't mean it's going to get worse for everyone. Okay. As long as you are aligned with your highest experience, if you're living in in the spiritual community, it's known as 5D. Totally not the business, but anyway, people know it as 5D. So if you're living in 5D and these other people are living in 3D, you're not going to experience the same awful 3D things that they're going to experience, So in order to do this collective shadow work, we have to purge the emotion. Gaia is purging these stagnant energies, these ancient energies, okay? Things that have been long buried for a very, very, very long time. She's erupting. Her volcanoes are erupting. Her tectonic plates are shifting. We're having earthquakes. That's bringing codes literally from inside of the earth, traumas from inside to the surface to be purged, right alongside with everything that's happening collectively. So, not investing in those emotions is a bit silly because they're already here. Like, you already own them. um, So you're just carrying them around. If you're not paying attention to them, they're just screaming on your back like the baby, that people put in the little papoose thing on their back and then just let them cry it out. Like, no, it's going to get louder. It's going to get bigger. It's going to get more in your face. So feeling and expressing these emotions and channeling that energy, because it's energy and motion, channeling that powerful anger into solutions, into positivity, into encouragement, support, community, demonstrating more community and connecting with others instead of separating yourself and, just not, let's not talk about it. Let's not feed the energy. No, it's not all love and light, baby. It's all about the fucking shadows. That's what we're here to do. We're here to dive into the shadows. We're here to feel everything and be as human as fucking possible, but in a high frequency way. We're here to show them how it's done. So we're supposed to feel those emotions and use the power, because emotions are not good or bad. That's people's judgments. Okay. Use that power and channel it towards creating the new earth. Don't channel it into fighting the old and bickering and fighting with people that are never going to even be consciously open to hearing what you have to say. Instead of feeding the trolls, we build the new earth. We channel it into something positive. And that's completely different than investing in fear or anger or what people would consider low frequency emotions, because no emotion is low frequency. Okay. There are higher and lower frequencies, but no emotion is bad or so dense and low frequency that it's invalid. Every emotion is valid because they exist. So, yeah, a lot of us have shadows surfacing for discovery. Yeah. Yep. And like coming back again just to see if you're really finished. So yeah. Yeah, they prefer that you don't illuminate the shadows. They don't want you healing. They want to keep you sick mentally, emotionally, spiritually, all of it. That's been the plan. That's been what they've been doing for thousands of years now. So this is the same playbook, you guys, and we know that. So we know how to do it better. Other people that ignored, think 1930s, 1940s Germany, okay? A lot of people just ignored and thought if they, you know, at least it's not me, at least it's not affecting me, until it was on their doorstep. Okay. I'm just going to keep my head down and I'm going to do what the regime tells me to do so that I can continue to be alive and function in some type of way. What happened? Tell me what happened. Okay. It's not putting the blinders on and expecting that the aliens are going to come rescue us. We have to save ourselves. Extraterrestrials themselves have said this, that we have to be the ones. We have to decide and we have to stand up and start doing something. When we get that momentum going, when we say we're creating this world, we're not living in that one anymore, and we start doing our thing, that's when the frequency is high enough, when we are sovereign, fully sovereign as a species, for other sovereigns to come and commune with us. But it's not going to happen if we're keeping ourselves suppressed and keeping the blinders on and saying, oh, we need a savior, Yeshua, Jesus, whoever, come save us. That's not going to happen. Or else it would have happened long before now, because shit's been a lot worse than it is right now. So we have to decide. We have to stand in our sovereignty. We have to create, get the momentum moving in that direction of creating the new earth, the world in which everyone collectively benefits, not a slave society. So just sitting idly by as these things happen and not speaking up because we might, offend Uncle Remus, it's just not an option anymore. Unless you want a repeat of 1930s, 1940s Germany, but more globally, because Russia's in on the shit. Israel, you know what they're doing right now in Palestine. They're in North Korea. And there are other countries actively under authoritarianism right now. So what happens when all of them band together? So no, we can channel sacred rage because it is a sacred emotion. That anger is sacred, and we can apply it to not fighting the old, because whatever you fight against, whatever you resist, will persist. It'll grow. It'll continue to get bigger. But whenever you're channeling that into building the new, creating, this new structure for society in which to function, or this new structure for your own life and your individual experience by which you're going to function, when you channel all of those, judged, deemed as low frequency emotions, and you apply them to building the new or finding solutions, creating, that's alchemy in action, and that's what we are here for. So um let that fall how it's going to. See how you feel about that. If you don't resonate, don't take my word for it, right? um do what resonates for you, always, above all else. But that is the perspective that I'm given. That is the channel that comes through. So yeah. We can't just operate on the same frequency anymore. Gaia's ascending. So we either ascend with her, build better with her, or not. It's completely up to us, absolutely. But those of us who know and remember how to work with these energies, how to alchemize, how to transmute, how to create, that's what we're doing. That's what we're here to do. So, and that is called to each individual person, however it's aligned with them, okay, on whatever frequency they're on. So, like I said, you could be actively there, advocating, speaking up, or you could be helping those who are, what can I help you do? What can I coordinate? Can I make a poster? Can I cook your family dinner? Whatever, it's everyone can't contribute in the same exact way, otherwise it wouldn't go anywhere. We all have our own functions, and it's going to look different for everybody. So like I said, I don't want anyone to feel guilty or shameful that they're not, like, on the front lines in LA, or in your city, in your state, wherever those things are taking place. Don't feel bad for that. You have a different function. You just got to figure out what that is. And you could totally meditate and send love and consciousness, right, to these people that are acting out of unconscious patterns. Soften the hearts of those who are not seeing the human rights as they need to. You can, there are so many different things you can call your freaking political leader people, whatever you call them, for your area, for your state. But just do what you feel guided to do, and that's all you need to do, even if it's just holding space, like I said earlier. Even if it's holding space and that's all you can think of doing, then that's what you're meant to do. So not everyone is going to be contributing in the same way, and none of us should be contributing in the exact same way. We're here to serve our authentic purpose and act out of our authentic frequency, and that's the highest frequency. So if we're all doing that, imagine how quickly this shift will take place. I mean, it's taking place, but I'm talking about end game, because I'm like, are we there yet? So the themes, like, you guys know from just the collective energy readings that I've been doing for the past almost 2 years now, everyone resonates with the reading. Well, not everyone, I'm not going to say everyone, but a lot of people resonate with the same exact reading, but situations in their individual lives are completely, vastly different from one another. Energy manifests for each individual according to their own set of circumstances, experiences, expectations, beliefs, energies at play, etc. So it's going to manifest differently for everyone along the same energy. And collectively, right now, everything's lining up with everyone's individual experience, too. I've had, luckily, thank you guys so much for booking with me lately. I am so, so grateful. But I've had a lot of readings that I've been doing lately, and it's the same thing. It like different manifestation of the exact same energy every single, and I shit you not, every single time. Every time. Collectively, individually, in groups, or running in themes. It's all playing out incredibly like on point. And not saying that it's a positive, like a happy thing on point, just like it's all completely aligned to the T. Just different manifestations of the same energy. It's wild. It is so wild. I love the work that I do. And I love being able to have so many clients all the time, because I can see the energy manifest in different forms, you know, but it's all the same energy. It's just crazy. So does anybody have anything that they want to add, or any questions? Because I know that I didn't do an outline today because I wasn't prepared. I've been really, really busy. But I'll be more prepared tomorrow. Yes, you're already here. Do something meaningful with it. Exactly. I don't know that I mentioned that comment earlier. Hey, Steph. We're talking about sacred rage, man. Holler your tur. Like, sometimes you have to get pissed off to change your circumstances. I know everyone's experienced that, right? You just kind of poke along because this is the way that it's been for a long time and I'm used to it, and not, really that motivated to change anything because I'm used to it. It's just like, okay, same story, whatever. We'll just go along with this because this is comfort zone now, right? So whenever something happens to make that worse in some way, and it really gets our attention, then we get upset about it. Then we have no option but to change. So that sadly is a theme that runs through humanity programming. And that's something that we're working on. That's something that we're healing. So sometimes it takes something pissing you off to make you change your circumstances, or sometimes it takes your knees hitting the floor before you finally embark on that path that's been calling your name for so long. So this is that thing, and you can choose to look at it from a fear perspective and giving in or just kind of riding the wave, or you can choose to use that power and channel it into something greater for yourself and for everyone else. Go with the flow talk. Oh, thank you, Linda. I'm passionate about it, but I'm so passionate about it that I'll forget key points that I'm like, man, I should have brought that up after the fact. So I've been structuring the outline to keep my ADHD brain on track so I don't side quest so much and I actually get the point out that I'm trying to make. You're not late. A wizard always arrives at the exact moment he intends to. Yes, wizard Steph, daddy of the spiritual community. It's like you're Merlin or something. I'm just saying that as a joke. He's not Merlin. I'm just, we have inside jokes. All in good fun. So, yeah. I've been channeling my frustration and anger, my frustranger. That's a good new word. I tend to make up my own words. My frustranger. I have been sitting with that. I have been expressing that in healthy ways, not being petty or engaging in lower frequency behavior or anything like that. I've been channeling it into research. I've been channeling it into creating things for my local community, reaching out to my neighbors, those kinds of things. So instead of being afraid and angry at what's happening and not really putting that anywhere, except for imploding myself, I have to get out and do something. If that's doing research and like compiling this spreadsheet of I mean it's ridiculous. My ADHD hyperfixations can get real serious sometimes. Creating PDFs with information and like plans and things like that to distribute to anyone who is interested in having those. So I could totally see stuff working with Merlin too, Ariana. Love the frustranger. Thanks, Linda. um, my brain, y'all, you see my brain function on a daily basis. So Gandalf, that's more like it, Susan. Steph is more Gandalf-y. And now I'm gonna send Steph Gandalf gifts all the time. And see, this right here also is what I'm talking about, bringing in joy, transmuting all of this shit, because I'm very invested in what's going on in Los Angeles right now, because was born and raised in the neighboring county. Okay. I know the culture there. I was raised in the culture. I was raised in Bakersfield, in the city of Bakersfield, which is we've called it Little LA for like 10, 20 years now. I'm pretty sure it's closer to 20 years, if not over. But because it's grown so much, because LA has grown so much, the whole area, LA County has grown so much, there's spillover. So Bakersfield and LA have pretty much merged. There's not much like vacant land in between. There are like orchards and farming communities, like crops grown in the area, very small area now between LA and Bakersfield. So I'm invested in that because I know Latino culture, because I grew up steeped in it. I was going to the Mercado Latino for tortas and tacos when I was like a little kid, 7, 8 years old, asking for a fruit water. So that their culture is also my culture. I'm not trying to, take it on because I'm a güera. I'm a white girl. I'm not trying to appropriate their culture, but their culture is my culture, because California is basically Mexico. And it used to be Mexico before, colonizers took it from Mexico. Past where I'm living at now, this where I'm at still was Mexico. And we have cities and towns and like areas like mountains and cliffs and like different geographical formations, I guess, that are named Hispanic words, Mexican names. um, so I've my neighbors, my best friends, my family. I have a tia. She, her parents migrated from Mexico and now they're gone. They've passed away, but she was born here and she's very Latina. She's very brown, she's very much, and she tells me I'm more Mexican than her, because I'll be sending her pictures of my quesadilla tacos and she's like, I can't even make that. But their culture is my culture. I was raised right in the middle of it. And so I'm very invested in what's going on right now within the US, but also LA, and then Denver, because it's the state that I'm living in now, that I've been a resident of for 5 years now. So I'm very invested. My heart's in both places. So, and the people, especially the children, yeah, no. Yes, Colorado was Mexico. Yep, all the way over to Nebraska. Yes, Google it or look it up. However, DuckDuckGo is the best because they don't log your info and stuff. But yeah, most, we'll say Midwest onto the West Coast and South, most of it was Mexico. They whitewashed history and they don't really educate people on that. But yeah, so I am personally invested for those reasons. Um, so I can't ignore it personally. Um, yeah, I just, especially because white skin is a privilege. Okay. It has been for a long time in many areas. So I will use that to shield my brothers and sisters. Trying to breathe through it. I have seen nothing but kindness from any Latino culture, not just Mexican, because there are so many other immigrants here than just Mexican immigrants. Okay. Mexico is a country. There are also the other countries in South America that are Latino. Um, so I know that Mexico is kind of at the forefront. People are waving the Mexican flags and things like that because they're not only our neighbors, but this used to be their land. So they are indigenous to this land truly. But they're like, let's erase that from history and just completely gloss over that fact and be like, no. um, so yeah, I personally have, I'm invested in both spaces. So I'm also taking on emotion through the empathy, right? Um, so I'm doing my best to transmute, to maintain my balance, to still anchor, but also to use these energies and harness them, channel them into something for the highest good of all, instead of bashing those who I openly judged as idiots. From my human perspective, that's my human feelings right now, and I'm allowed to have them. So um, just ignorance, they're ignorant. I guess I shouldn't call them idiots. It's ignorance and programming. Everyone is infuriated by the racism. It's time to erase all these stupid invisible borders. Not a one world government, but one love. Yes, 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 yes. Um, yeah. So I am in it in that way, not directly in it because I'm not one of the cultures that's directly impacted by it. But I am a protector frequency. I am a very protective person over people that I love and care about. And I have love for everyone, unless you cross me personally. I still have love for you, but you're getting the fuck up out of my space. Um, but I don't wish anyone's human rights to be infringed upon or stamped on because I don't like them or I don't agree with their beliefs or their practices or whatever. Just as long as they're not harming themselves or anyone else, it's none of my business. So yeah, I'm doing part of my purpose, which is sifting, sorting, helping to encourage, support, love, educate, not engaging with the lower frequency behavior. Sometimes, setting an example for others instead of fighting with this person. I'll just tell them that I don't engage in explaining myself or basic human decency to fascist twats. So, yeah. One love. Yep. Bob Marley, yes. I wake up to Bob Marley every morning. It's my alarm tone. Three Little Birds, though. Three Little Birds is the one. Because it's relaxing enough. It doesn't jolt me awake, because if I get jolted awake, my whole day is thrown off. So I have to be gently coaxed back to consciousness. So yeah, just, whatever you can do, whatever you feel guided to do, and what you resonate with for the highest good of yourself and all involved, then do that. If that's meditating every day and sending love to everyone, I mean, especially the ones who are being oppressive to others, or racist, or any of these things, um, they're especially in need of love in that moment. Um, and one example that I like to give when I'm talking about things like this is like with my kids. Um, Whenever they're fighting each other, and they're, one of them is being the bully, and being, really mean to his brothers, I will deal with the situation, get them away from each other, and talk about what was wrong, what happened, and what's unacceptable. And then I'll pull the kid that is the bully at the time, the instigator. I will take them aside and have a one-on-one, face-to-face chat with them, and explain why this is unacceptable and those things. And then I will make them give me a hug. Um, I don't have to really make them, but I'll joke with them and get them open a little bit, and I'll say, "Come here. It looks like you're all out of love. I think you need me to fill you up. So come here." And then they'll kind of giggle, and that cracks them open to receiving it, and they'll just give me a big hug for as long as they need to. So we need to also start applying similar tactics to these others. Like in LA, it's like there's so much ugliness and so much like misinformation and terrible stuff that's being spread, but you see, and the Mexican culture, the Latino culture in general, not just Mexican culture, the Latino culture in general is one of the most loving, supportive, community focused cultures ever, okay, that I've experienced personally. And I haven't been exposed to every culture around the world, so don't fault me for that. I'm American. um, but there are people dancing in the streets. There are taco trucks coming. There are people that made hundreds of tamales to bring to people, to feed them, to sustain them, to support them, to do what they can to show their love and support and their gratitude for these people. And then there are, I don't know if all of you guys have seen these yet, but there's videos and pictures of it all over. The Latinas, and well, all the Latinos, because it's men and women, are laying roses and flowers at the feet of these federal officers, what they're called for now, in the black uniforms with the shields and stuff, the big clear plexiglass shield things, and the helmets and the riot gear. They're laying flowers at their feet and showing them love, compassion, kindness, and appealing to their higher nature. So that's how we do it, so even if you can't do anything from where you're at, or with your ability to take on extra right now, then you can go into meditation and do that. See yourself placing flowers at their feet to open, to appeal to their better nature, to watch their hearts soften, to send source love, light to them, to their heart, to soften that. And it really does help. So anything that you can do, even if it's a 10-minute meditation a day, to send love, healing, protection, that kind of thing, then you're helping tremendously. Because energetically, in the spiritual realms and the quantum, if you could see it with your human eyes, then you would understand how big it was, how impactful that those small little efforts can be. So yeah, just holding the frequency is all we need to do. And if we feel called to do something else, something extra, then do that too. But nobody should feeling guilty or shameful or anything like that for, not being active, hands-on, or anything like that. Because I looked, I looked in my area, and I have to drive hours to get to somewhere where they're doing some kind of a demonstration. And like, I'm not taking my little tiny kids into something like that, that could possibly cause them physical harm or danger. And I don't have anyone to babysit them either. So I cannot be down there on the front lines either, for multiple reasons, but I'm not supposed to, but I can talk to people here. I can give people information. Here's what happens. Don't speak. Get an alert system. Tell someone to call, someone who can take care of your children if you have them, or take care of your pets, or whatever, if in the event that you may get taken, whether you're a citizen or not. Okay, that is happening too. So just informing people of their rights, or of the best way to go about handling the process, and during the process, if they have to, that is helpful for them. So again, just showing your humanity in whatever way. And it doesn't have to you don't have to be showing it off to multiple people. Show it within yourself. You don't have to share it with anyone. You don't have to tell anyone that you're doing, meditations and all of these things behind the scenes. You don't have to do any of that. It's not about seeking glory. It's not about, getting the trophy or the participation medal, It's about doing what you can with what you've got, with where you're at, with the capacity that you have to do it. So even a simple thought of love and peace does wonders. So whatever you feel called to do, if anything, then absolutely do that. Yeah, you can do way more than the astral. Definitely. There's a lot of us doing a lot in the astral. So if you feel called to do that, or if it just organically starts happening, then do that, So that's why there's so many of us here with so many different jobs, because it's teamwork and we're doing it together. No matter what job we have, we're all doing it together. So yeah, I guess that's all I have to say. I think it seems like I've been rambling on about the same things in circles. So hopefully I didn't bore you guys. But I will let y'all get back to your evening, your morning, your day, whatever time it is, whatever corner of this plane that you're in. But I love you guys. Thank you for showing up all the time. Thank you for supporting me. Again, my products and services are greatly reduced right now. Go to my website, rebelspiritrising.com, for all of the details, all the prices, all the things. But I've got products for $5 right now. My rollerball fragrances are $5 right now. Okay. And that's what they look. It's a 10 milliliter little rollerball of fragrance oil. And all of them are the same price right now. It doesn't matter if it's got expensive oils or not in it. Well, I mean, all of them are pretty expensive, but I'm talking about like the meditation oils with the blue lotus and stuff. Even those super high dollar oils are $5 for the rollerball fragrances right now. So jump on that. I still got bills to pay, so you guys are sustaining me. So thank you for investing in my small business in whatever way you can. Sharing helps. Suggesting my stuff to people definitely helps too. So anything that you guys can do, I am ever so grateful. I love you so much, and I will see you tomorrow. Tomorrow is my podcast Friday, so tomorrow is Thursday, and then I won't see you guys again until Sunday. So I love you guys. Take care of yourselves. Stay safe out there.